working with automation, the more accurate your parts are, the easier all of this works. Tooling is really simple. So this is Velcro tooling, so everything has its own spot where it needs to go, but it all drops in very simply. If I want to make one of these points permanent, I can just take my 1/4-inch Allen, take these down. These aren't going to go anywhere. Or if I want to, and it's a temporary fixturing point, I can just go hand tight. They slide out and drop right back in. Adjustments. So working with the tooling, I always want a hard stop, right? So now I know that pipe is good. Goes up. So I have a couple different safety features. In the app, I have arc on settings. So if I want to test a weld, I could turn the arc off and do a dry run around it. I also have a key here. So as soon as I turn my key on, I'm good. But if I have an arc off in the app, I can also still keep my arc off. So everything's on. I got gas flow. I got my machine on. Hey Joe.
Can you give Sean the rundown on this thing? John, show me.
So as we're welding, I can get a real-time update. So this is giving me a counter and how long it's going to take for these welds to go. And then I also have a couple different things that happen in the app that I have control over too. So I have all these toggle lights that you'll see, and they'll light up and it'll send me a message. So this one says remove fixturing. So right now I have this light lit up, so it's telling me to pull fixturing out of the way so I can move on with my next program. So now with this light lit, press the button, we jump back into our welding program. Once again, see, we're still collecting that real time on how long it's going to take to weld around that pipe.
You have a bit human section too, sir. How are you guys doing?
We're low smoker. I got good settings today.
So are the settings set up in the iPad?
Yep. So I can change from pulse to CV to short arc all in the app. I don't have to touch my welding machine. So as long as it's on, I can send out a signal to it. I can also change that metal transfer mode in real time in the app too. So if I want to weld a straight, horizontal weld and pulse, then I want to do a downhill short arc, it just changes automatically. You just switch over just like that. So there's no more running over to the machine. So all I have to do is turn it on and turn my gas on for the day. I don't have to touch it. You can set up a couple things like your post flow, pre flow, stuff like that. But once you get that dialed in, just leave it.
This would be really great for long weld cycles.
Yeah. $33 an hour.
Is that what you're charging? 33? Nice.
So I have another option that came up here. Insert subassembly. Sub-assemblies, fixturing is in, sub-assemblies.
Interesting. Het is ook deftig, maar vanaf bij je last, kijk, je kan het wegmaken. Dan moet je een andere bocht maken. Dan moet je altijd weer het hard.
So tack welds are cool because I can change their timing. So if they're too big, they're too small, I can change how long it sits there on the arc. And of course I still have the same control of all the welding parameters too. Voltage, wire feed, speed, torch angles. So now the part's wrapped in. Word device, keep the screen away from the arc. Now we go in and just weld the whole part out.
Cool, man.
I can control crater fills, I can control my hard stops, my hot starts. I can wrap corners on square tubing, so that's what I'm doing right now. As soon as I hit the termination of one weld, I can link it to the next weld, so I have these chain link options. I can turn that on and off, so if I get to a weld termination, it can back out and move over to the next one, or it can just keep going around. That way I can get watertight seals if I need to, or airtight, whatever kind of tight you need it.
Is there a setup charge? So the initial visit?
We're $33 an hour. We show up, take it off the truck, $33
What's the
an hour.
minimum number of hours that you have to pay for?
40-hour minimum work week.
Okay.
And then if you go over that 40 hours, we just charge by its motion.
So you're charging based on what? Arc on time?
Just a productive movement with it.
But it's at minimum 40.
Correct.
Min 40, but if we were working 60, then
You'd be paying for 60 still. Yep. But yeah, so $33 an hour. We show up. We get you trained, day and a half on getting a part set up for you guys and truly welding. We usually take our time so we can get people as comfortable as they can with them by, just getting scrap pieces for fillet welds, scrap pieces for groove welds, things like that, just so your operator is most comfortable with it. But it's not going to take a whole week of training. I don't have to send someone out. I go to you. I grab my iPad. I grab my phone. You guys get an iPad or a phone. I can throw it in with the with the unit. Let's just roll. Truly, this is a temp welder for you if you need it. So this is also good for seasonal projects too. Let's say you guys run a part for a month out of the year. You can get that part programmed in. You can run it for that month. Come the next year or the next quarter when it's time to run that again, we drop this back into the floor, get you back into the app, and your parts are still saved. So it's just drop your tooling back in and start loading up that part again.
So where or how in the software do you adjust the size of the fillet?
Okay, so
You might not be able to do it now, maybe.
I can't do it in real time because what it's doing is it's calling out a sequence through the cloud. So I can't adjust that in real time, but I can adjust as I go. But in the app, I have arc control, arc length, material type, material thickness, the process, the voltage, the wire diameter, the wire feed speed. Obviously, I can't change the wire diameter through the app, but I have full control. Arc on times, arc end times. How long are we going to hold at a start? How long are we going to hold at a stop? Traveling speeds, traveling angles. I have full control of all that. This is in millimeters per second. Before you say, why are we at 5.3 inches a minute? But so right now I'm welding at 14 inches a minute out through the entire app. So your average welder is between 10 and 12. So I'm already welding faster than your average welder at a quality that's about the same as your good welder, if not hopefully better.
Around that pipe, it's a really nice weld.
Thank you.
It'd be hard to do.
So you get someone with welding knowledge to set it up, and you just get a regular guy to load it. So I come back into the app and I'm still in the live mode. I also have the option for stitch welding. So point A, point B, that's my start and my stop.
Oh, you just stitched over the other weld to make the X.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So I don't need to think about my stitch weld functions, and they're not going to be a single weld and a single weld and a single weld. It's start, stop, and I need 2 inches with a 3-inch gap, right? I can just throw that into the app. Therefore, I don't need to think about it mentally and just add and subtract and figure out how long they actually need to be. It just doesn't.
All of your clearance moves, did you already predetermine where everything is kind of at?
Yeah, so, do it like this. So, like, motion-wise, right?
Yeah.
When I program to come out to this middle point at the termination of wrapping that square groove, nothing around here. When the weld terminates, we regress, right? So my next weld is this downhill. So all I did was move it out here, and I saved that move sequence, and then I programmed this downhill weld. I'm not trying to direct its path. I'm just saving a point and saying it's going to go here, and then it's going to go to this next point. So really, I can say you go here, and then you're going to weld here. So what it'll do is it jumps down like this and gets into its position and welds. So there's no, if you're familiar with your typical robotics, there's your pounce, your approach, your regress, we get rid of all of that. It's just weld, move, traverse something, weld, move, that kind of stuff. We want to make this as simple as possible for truly your welders, because those are the guys that are going to be setting it up. And then once you get set up too, your guys don't need to be on their phone or on the app, because the program's already pulled up. It's just hit play and go. So you can be at your desk doing what you do, or you can be, doing another job. You can still pull up the app in your phone or on a tablet and say, where is it? What's it doing?
So does it work on iPad and Android?
Yep, Android, iOS. I should get the data in a second here. Parts per minute. So now this is my one part of the day. So it shows me that I made one part today. Parts welded per hour. My arc on time for today, which is November 13th. So it pops up there, it populates. How much wire did I use? This is from the 10th to the 13th. And then how much gas did I use? This is throughout the week. So I can monitor all of that, how much I've used. So in the app, we can calculate how much wire you're using off of just knowing your wire feed speed and your travel speed, gas used. It's an input in the app. That's for you guys or for us, so we can help kind of detect whether you're going to run low soon, or if you need more, or if you're having any issues. Obviously, you just set your regulator to whatever you want, and then just update the app with whatever your CFH is.
No, but our sister plant has. Well, no, excuse me. They do aluminum welding, or they're going to do aluminum welding. I don't think you did. Can you?
I gave you a leaflet.
Yeah, I took one of these.
Okay, I'll give you my business card.
Okay, perfect.
It's ironic that both of us got to stop here and win.
Right? Like, what are the odds of that? All right, so it's got rack and pinion drive in the X, and then looks like it's rack and pinion in the Y, the ball screw on the Z, and then I don't know how this thing is controlled. Oh, so the pusher is another rack and pinion on the slide. It grabs the part. Oh, you can't see my finger. It grabs the part here and indexes it. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You can name me the PDF.
All right, so we're here at Bowshirt or PBT. bending this profile. It's like a 1x1 3/16 wall extrusion.
We're going to do a smaller radius followed by a slightly larger radius. So we're going to put the piece up to the stop here, and then it's programmed to stop at 12 o'clock on this roll, and then it'll start the bend program.
Oh, I see.
This is just to ensure you're starting to bend at the same spot every time.
Makes sense. And then these are, sorry, go ahead.
And now these measuring heads are validating the radius measurement to confirm that it's matching the program measurement.
So it's measuring the radius there. We want to be at 800 and it measured 901. So now it's going to take a second pass.
Now it automatically adds additional lines to the bend program to get those segments within tolerance. And again, this is starting from scratch. If you've done this once already and dialed in your elasticity, you don't have to do all the pre-bending.
So it would be one pass,
if your
theoretically?
material is consistent and you've already done this homework, the work up front, you don't have to do several passes per part.
But at a minimum, you're going to have to go to the left and then to the right before you finish.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. This system will work in a slightly different mode. If you have a very long curve, it can actually correct in real time in one pass. But that just means that if the first few inches of your piece that it's checking is off, then they'll remain off because it's only one pass. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see.
So you can have it update in real time, but anything that it's already passed will be lost.
So it's going to do yet another pass. Evidently the step between passes is adjustable.
So as far as like marking them apart and that, like is there much separation, if you will, apart?
No,
Oh,
and we can use, like, many times we would recommend using lubrication or plastic tooling if you're concerned about the surface. We can do tooling out of Delrin to minimize surface scratching.
This part has a bunch of little scratches on it, so they were just talking about you can make your roll benders out of Delrin. This thing is like it's something to force the part to be flat, so you can push all that stuff up, try to roll correct the twist out of the part. That'd be handy for stuff like this.
Do a lot of curtain track stuff.
So this whole machine is 120 as you see it. The inline profile check is 18 grand. The roll correction is 17, I think he said, 87. And then this is the control. It's got a cool little trigger thingy. And then everything else is kind of European standard sort of stuff. Oh, okay.
And that's all configurable, so depending on what the system is, if you need the speed, we can give you the speed. But if you prefer closer interaction,
All right, so the gist of the story is there's a bunch of these sensors right up here and here, here, and here that constantly make a grid of points and then figures out what's in the cell and what's not supposed to be in the cell. So if a robot comes near you, it slows down or stops. So it's like a 3D area scanner, not a 2D area scanner. There's a massive controller that controls it all, and then the package with 4 of these little green sensors up there is 40 grand, and then it's 5 grand a sensor after that. Pretty cool system.